Hello, everyone. I'm Matthew, and welcome back to the Whatta podcast. Holy heck. We made it all the way. Oh, I didn't grab the book. I could go grab the book, but I won't, because it's downstairs. We made it to the 14th episode, is what I was going to say, before I cut myself off, before I stopped my own sentence in its tracks, What have I done this week? What's been going on in the world? Well, what's been going on in the world? I know there was a very tragic tornado that went through a little over a week ago at this point now, because it was like Friday, of the previous week, not this week that just finished, the one before it. And I know we're still kind of reeling from that. But other than that, I haven't heard much news. The world's kind of the internet's a little bit exploded right now because of Spider-Man No Way Home. That just came out. I did see that. I did go and see that film. I dressed up as the Scarlet Spider to go see it. I didn't have red pants, but I did go. I did go and see that movie, and it was good. I had a wonderful time. It was fun to see all the villains I had seen in previous films back, and in different form, if that makes sense. In different form. No, that was a weird sentence. I kind of just enjoyed having them. It was nice. And so it was good to see them about. I love Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. I don't think anyone ever could replace Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. And it was fun to see some of the other characters make their appearances too. To see Sandman back, Electro, played by Jamie Foxx again. That was wild. It was odd. And as well as, what's that man's name? The Lizard. The Lizard that broke the internet when the Brazilian trailer came out. That was so funny. Can we talk about how funny that was? That was the funniest thing in the world. That man got punched by nothing. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil the movie. I have no intent to talk about the plot. I have no intent to talk about anything that occurred in it. I'm just talking about the things we already know. And it's probably going to be the extent of my conversation with it. Because, hey, if you want to see the movie, go see the movie. Unless you're sick, don't. This was the most packed I had seen any theater since the pandemic has started. Granted, I've only seen a few movies here and there in theater, but I saw this movie a day, technically two, because I know movies like to do their Thursday night showing, and that's their opening night, and then they have opening day, which is Friday. So I saw it a day after opening day, and that theater was packed. I saw West Side Story, its opening night, and there was 6 people in there, and I mean it's opening night. So that was insane. But it was cool. The energy was amazing. There was a woman who was very emotional and very loud for someone in a crowded theater. And that was funny. But it reminded me of just the fun of going to the cinema and being able to do things like cheer with a crowd or cry with a crowd if you're that one woman who was crying so hard. And it's an amazing experience. And I hope once the pandemic subsides enough to let us go back to a slightly normal life, that we continue to do that, to have those experiences, to have those moments. Because I know there's been lots of talk of the pandemic has shown us we don't have to go to the theaters. Why do we go to the theaters? And it's because it's fun. Because it's an experience. Everyone enjoys this. And I understand some people not everyone wants to go into the theater, whatever. That's fine. But those that do, they have a good time. Yeah, it's expensive to go buy tickets. And then if you go and get snacks, then I hope you're a millionaire. But it's a really fun time. It's an enjoyable moment, and more people should still have the opportunity to experience that. Honestly, I would love a return to form of drive-in theaters. I know it's really hard to run drive-in theaters because you can only show movies when it's dark out. And then You can only show so many films like so close to each other. Like you can't have 10, 15 screens set up, because you've got to have the space for however many cars 10, 15 screens would bring. That's essentially like asking for a portion of a state to just be drive-in theater, which sounds awesome. I don't know about you, but that does sound pretty dope. But yeah, no, I miss drive-in theaters. There's one that's not local. It's very far. So I only go when I'm really like, hey, we need to go see this in this fashion. But it's nice. I love it. I love going to that one. I hope it sticks around. It's been stuck around for a long time. It usually does. It does a double feature. It's got 2 screens, so there's one double feature on one screen, one double feature on another screen, and I think that's pretty dope. I think that's incredibly fun. And more people should be experiencing drive-ins. That's what you should be doing. Yo, when you're... Hey, when you need a date idea, go to a drive-in. That's what you should do. What? I just was sent an odd message. That's right. I'm checking my phone while I talk in this podcast because clearly I can multitask. I can't. I cannot multitask. Speaking of multitasking, I'm kidding. You thought that was the segue? You're an idiot. No, I'm kidding. You're not an idiot. I just suddenly see every human being I know that watched the video, like their dislike button is highlighted because they clicked it because I called them an idiot. Oh, that would be funny. Hey, yawn. Yeah, I'm tired. I am tired, even though I've been out of bed for like maybe 5 hours. I've been doing things the entire time since then, most of it recording. I got a little behind in my stuff for the YouTube channel, so I did that. I had to record 2 videos. So I've just kind of been sitting here at my computer in the middle of my room like a heathen. This isn't where my computer naturally sits in my room. I don't just be like, what if I put this in the middle of my room? No, I don't do that. If you do that, I have many questions for you. Many, many questions. I hope you guys can't hear me typing on my phone. It's sitting down. I don't feel like picking it up because I know I will stare at it much too long. Because that's what you do. That's what we all do. We pick up our phones and we're like, oh, what can I look at today? Oh, let's see. What does the email got for me? And I don't want to do that. I'm going to make it sound just like that, too. What does the email got for me? What's in my email today? It's a good thing no one can see my face. I would look so dumb. Oh. This email is old. It's incredibly old. I've already done this. That's so funny. Stream summary. Yeah, that's right. I did open up my email. I did the exact thing that I just hated on. I was like, oh, shouldn't do that. 7 different days. I'm making my way. Slowly. I'm trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to get further along in my Twitch stuff. That way I can try to make some more money. And by that I mean I don't make any. I don't make any money from any of the things I do. Not the podcast, not the gaming YouTube channel, not from Twitch. I don't make any cash. But my hope one day is to make some money off of some of those things so I can upgrade some equipment. Because I would love to put my face in the podcast. That'd be cool. And honestly, upgrading my equipment just means being able to put my face in all the things I do. Because it's having older tech is the thing that is gatekeeping me from being able to do that, and that is the only thing that is gatekeeping me, is the fact that I have old tech, which makes me sound like I'm scouring through like Soviet Russia. It's filled with old tech. No, but my computer struggles really hard to run anything more than what I have it doing, whether that be editing software, which is why I do so much of my editing here in Reaper, which is what I'm recording my podcast in, because it's an audio editing software, and I use it to do video editing, which it doesn't do. Which is why my videos don't really do anything in the worlds of edit. No, but I'm hoping I'll get there one day. One day, I'll be able to get there. Yeah. I just kind of say things sometimes, and I think it's funny. No one else needs to ever think it's funny, but that's okay. Do you think it's funny? It doesn't matter to me. I'm kidding. It does matter. Sometimes. I enjoy knowing that other people see me as funny on occasion, depending on what it is. Sometimes I'm like, I don't need anyone else's like thoughts on if what I've said is funny or not. And other times I'm like, well, I'd really like it if I had the opinion of others. Because the court of a public opinion, it helps. It helps you know whether you're doing good or if you're not. I like to be doing good most of the time. Most of the time? That's not what I meant. I like to do good all of the time. And most of the time, that's what people tell me I'm doing. So that's all right by me. Yeah, but speaking of almost exploding my computer, I did, for the first time ever, try streaming with my webcam. One, that was fun, but two, oh boy, did my system struggle. Normally I stream directly out of my console. It's the only reason I got quote-unquote newer consoles, even though they're almost 10 years old at this point, and that hurts me. Was because they had the ability to stream directly from them. And I was like, okay, this is fine. I'll just stream directly from them. That's cool. But I didn't realize how many things I couldn't do because of it. I wasn't able to, unless I had cameras attached to them. Like, if I put the Kinect camera into the Xbox, which I don't own that. I don't own the one for the Xbox One. And if I put the PlayStation 1 into the PlayStation, then I'd be able to have like camera footage of myself while I stream directly from the system, and that would be cool. That would be nice. But I wouldn't be able to do other things. Like, I found out I can put goals on my stream. I was like, what? I can put goals just on the screen itself? And so I did. I had a goal up. I'm still trying to reach it. I'm trying to get to 10. Is it followers? Subscribers? I'm trying to get to 10 at least. The end goal is to get to 50, right? But right now I was trying to get to 10, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. I made it to 8 so far, which was cool because before Saturday, I was at 7. I was like, look at that. I made it to 8. That's pretty cool. What just happened on my wrist? What did I just feel? That was weird. I don't know what I just touched. I didn't like it. I said I forgot the book because I forgot the book. Harry Potter is downstairs, and I refuse to go grab it now. I know I said I'd read a little something to you guys, but I won't. I won't actually. I don't think anyone's going to tune in to be reading you books unless it's been requested, and no one's requesting that. There's no one out there that wants to hear this voice read them a book. Even though I would do it so well. I'd have funny voices. It'd be a riot. An absolute riot. Just not Riot by Hollywood Undead. That's right. I know Hollywood Undead. They make interesting music. Sometimes. Other times, they just make regular music for their genre. Do you? I don't even know what that tone of voice that I just used was. I just know it was funny to me. And will it be funny to you? Yeah, because I'm gonna make sure you know it's funny, because I'm telling you right now that it's funny. uh, you know, sometimes I wonder. What? Oh, I blanked out. I blanked out really hard. I said sometimes I wonder, and then I didn't say anything more. That was just the end of the statement. It was just kind of, yeah. Oh, this wasn't what I was gonna say, but sometimes I wonder what people are thinking, right? Sometimes you witness people, and you're just like, oh, these people aren't real. This isn't a real human being who had these thoughts. I saw a man, not even, you know what? I've seen this multiple times. I've seen families go into Spencer's. Hey, I don't know if you've ever been into a Spencer's. Usually called Spencer's Gifts. But about 3/4 of the store is just a bunch of nerd stuff, or like artist, like music artist stuff and whatnot. And then there's the other fourth of the store, which is horny. And I mean that very literally. It is filled with like clothes and toys and all items related to the word horny. And there's always a family in that store, right? And they never make it into that fourth quadrant, right? They never get all the way to sector number 4, right? And they stay in 1, 2, and 3. But you always have that moment where you want to just witness what happens, right? Like you just want to see their teenage son walk a little too deep, right? And just see what occurs. And I always wonder, like I imagine like no offense to tourists, because I live near an area that's always filled with tourists, but I just imagine some like tourist family goes in because like their kid sees I don't know, like a Rick and Morty shirt or something, and just their like 14-year-old teenage son walks into the back and just suddenly emerges like 17. He's like in the middle of puberty all of a sudden, and he's like, it's not a phase, Mom, as he's holding like the world's worst item to ever see in your teenage son's hand. And I would imagine just the heartbreak, just the absolute heartbreak on that mother's face as she's like, no, my son, what has this store done to you? You were so good. You did math. Math. I said math, not meth, by the way. And just him just be like, gosh, Mom, leave me alone. Because he apparently sounds like Napoleon Dynamite now. It's just so funny because it's not like there's like a divider. Like you always hear the jokes about like old timey, no, about like video stores. Now there's like this section that's like got a little curtain doorway that if you go through, you end up in like the inappropriate section, you know? But there's nothing like that in Spencer's. There's no divide. It's just suddenly you're like, oh wow, look at the like, I don't know, wallets and chokers, and then it's like, hey, that's a dildo. That's a wall of dildos. Right next to my ramen cups. Like there's no divide. They're just all there. And it's so wild to me. It's so wild to me. Because I'm sure if I went and Googled, there's probably some like court case somewhere where some parent is upset because their child went into a Spencer's Gifts. If I put Spencer's Gifts sued, I'll be able to see what it says. Oh, this is recent. Disability discrimination. What? Hold on. There's like 3 different things that popped up. 2 of them from 2018 and 1 from last year. Spencer Gifts is invoking the U.S. Constitution so it can continue selling toys in Sin City malls. Where's Sin City? I have no clue where Sin City is. Who wrote this article? They did this on purpose. It says, the Delaware-based retailer filed a federal lawsuit against Clark County this week in response to the government's demand that 2 of its local Spencer's stores stop carrying a girthy list of erotic gifts. Why'd you call it girthy? Why'd you have to call the list girthy? That's so... I hated that. I'm yawning so hard. Is that what happens when you read... Never mind. That's what happens when you read the word girthy, is you just yawn incredibly hard. Worst sentence I could have said. It didn't get any better. It just got worse. And I think that's funny and not funny all at the same time. I forgot what I was going to say next. Yeah, no, there's no thoughts in my head. There are things written down. There are things I could easily go look at. Do I? No. Why? Because I think that's less fun. Like, yeah, there are times when I write things down. I'm like, I have to talk about this. And then I'm like, there are other times where I'm like, well, I'll just talk about what I want to talk about. And, no one can stop me. It is what it is. Oh, I have to adjust a list. I just remembered as I went to go see if I did have any notes, which I can't even find my notes. Where are my notes? Oh, what a thought. Let's see what's in here. I see I've got Blazing Saddles. It just says Blazing Saddles. It doesn't say anything specific about Blazing Saddles that I should talk about. It just says Blazing Saddles, which, hey, if you haven't seen Blazing Saddles, it came out like 40 years ago. I think about 50 years ago. We're getting close. Which is insane. Insane. We're about to approach a point in history where movies will start to be able to become 100 years old. Do you know how crazy that is? Wild. Anyways, Blazing Saddles. It's a lot. There's a lot of things in it. It's not appropriate. If you have a child near you, don't ever watch this movie near them. Child services will know. They will find you. They will take that kid. And then that kid will respond with lines from Blazing Saddles and just cement why they're taking the kid from you. No, but it's funny. It's funny as heck. It's a little racist, and that's okay. It came from a time when that was slightly more acceptable, but also it's set in a time where that was even more acceptable. So, it makes sense, right? I'm not condoning racism. I'm saying that in the context of the film, and in the context of when the film was made, making fun of these things made more sense. Which is its own little topic. It's often talked about how I'm just going to say the idiots of the current time will get so butthurt about everything that you can't have humor, even though it's funny. Like, it's often cited about how, Steve Carell says The Office would never have made it in, today's climate of, how people react to the entertainment industry and, the things that happen in shows. And it's Oscar, you're gay. Boom. Roasted. Show would have been canceled right then and there. A bunch of people would have been like, that's so insensitive what they did. He outed him in front of his coworkers. He wasn't ready to do that. Blah, blah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. Unless the show was talking about how great at representing the LGBTQ community, I could give two shits. Really could. Just go ahead. Shut up. Oh, you're gonna keep talking? Oh. Shut up. Really, I think it's so dumb. I think it's so dumb. What happened to humor? I sound like every 40 plus white comedian who has to try and make jokes nowadays, and half their joke lineup is them talking about how they have to make different types of jokes because someone will get offended with some of the jokes that they make. And it's like, yeah, obviously don't go around calling people slurs, but there are some funny jokes. There are some real funny ones. I think a great image that I saw that was real funny was about the white boy who went and visited Detroit, and his mother, was concerned, and so she messaged him like, "Hey, is everything all right?" And he responds with this photo of him being chased by a bunch of what looks to be gang members, and it's real funny because it's clearly not like someone decided, "Hey, let me take this photo while this guy's about to die," but like that guy had to have gone and asked them to take this photo with him so that he could send it to his mother and give her a heart attack, essentially. Dude, that's so funny. And you know what it plays on? Race. And it's funny as shit. It's funny, okay? So shut up. I said it's funny, me, the African American. So if someone tries to tell me that that's mean, I'm here to say shut up, I don't care. I got real close to the mic to make that point. And I didn't mean to get that close. Blazing Saddles. It's a little racist, but it's very funny. I don't think I'll ever see that air on TV unless I go back in time. No way, not today. I hate TV edits, by the way. I think they're awful because they will cut out some of the best parts of films and then they'll replace other parts, and you're just like, well, this is dumb. Why'd you let it air on TV if you were going to edit it? Like, it's always like, edited for television. I'm like, well, don't. Why'd you want to show it then? Why were you going to show it if you needed to edit it for television? Just stop. Like, I know no one watched the movie Wanted, but I always thought the movie Wanted was at least a little, like, dumb fun. Like, it's stupid. Incredibly so, but it's got its fun moments, and I think one of the funner moments is the scene where I forget his name, James McAvoy. There it is. The scene where James McAvoy's character like essentially leaves his job, and the Chris Pratt character that I won't ever remember the name of, like who he hates, as he like goes to leave, he picks up his keyboard and he smacks him with the keyboard, and these letters fly off of it in slow motion, and it says F you, except it doesn't say F, it's the full word, and then like the letter N upside down. And it's funny, it's hilarious, and the TV edit just scrambles the letters, so it's just random letters, and you're like, well, what was that? What was the point of that? And you would never know unless you went and watched like a DVD copy or like a streaming copy of Wanted. And there's so many things like that. Like, I love the Final Destination franchise. It's my favorite set of horror films. I hate the fourth movie, but I love the franchise. I think it's fantastic. I think it did something different. I love Tony Todd. Candyman will always be his thing, but he did an amazing job as the coroner. What is it? Is it Bloodworth? In those movies. I think the dumbest thing is that the edited for TV versions cut out the deaths, pretty much. They cut out like the violence of the deaths, which, hey, all the deaths in those movies, real violent. Real violent. The first movie can get away with most of them because they're not like gory in the first movie, but like second movie onwards, hey, most of those deaths never got to see the light of day. I remember I jumped in my seat the first time I saw a copy of Final Destination 2 that wasn't on television, because there's hey, sorry for the spoilers, I guess, if you wanted to watch this franchise, but the fifth movie came out in 2011, so you had time. But there's a ambiguously aged kid in the second one. I say that because he acts like he's younger than he looks. Like, he looks like a teen, and he says some things like a teen, but then there are other things he does like he's 6. Like, someone wanted to write in a younger child and then was told they couldn't cast a younger child. But his death in that film, it's insane. It's crazy. Like, and it's fully cut out when you watch it on TV. Just 100%. So I was caught off guard. I was like, what? What just happened? It's insane. And like, I don't know. I just hate TV edits. They're so dumb. They take out curse words. They take out violence. It's just, all it does is essentially give you like an advertisement for what the movie is, to then tell you to be like, hey, go get your own copy so you can see it in its entirety. Yeah. What a weird segue that occurred from trying to talk about Blazing Saddles, which is a Western comedy. Good one though. I like it. It's real solid. It's real good. It's real good. What else is in here? Let me try to clear this out. That way I'll actually have a thought in my head to be like, oh, let me go add some more things that occurred during the week. Obviously, this week is going to be odd. Not odd. I'll probably have more things to talk about because, Christmas. And then I'll also have more things to talk about once we hit the new year. Because, then we'll be in the new year. So I'll probably talk about that. That's right. I have one in here. Hey, guys. Don't do other people's jobs. What do I mean by that? If you work a job, right? And you're not on the clock, and you tell someone else how to go do their stuff, and then it's wrong, you know who gets in trouble? The guy on the clock, and not the one who told them to do it, because that person wasn't on the clock. I don't like my, what is this called? Suitemate. It's not a roommate back at college. It is the human being that I share a bathroom with. He has his own room, and we share a bathroom. We don't ever see each other unless I encounter him in the dining hall. That's it. This fool, right, works in said dining hall. He's probably going to listen to this. I don't care. I'm not even removed from the situation. I don't care enough to wait to talk about it. I'm going to do it now. Works in the dining hall. Tells this guy, there's like a pizza making station. He's like, oh, the next one coming out is vegetable. So, or no, yeah. He's like, it doesn't have meat, so make sure you use the vegetable cutter to cut it. And I was standing right there, right? Knowing that he was fully incorrect. Because I was like, no. The next pizza to come out is mine with chicken on it, which is a meat. Because you know what he did? He ignored me because he knows I don't like him. Because he pisses on the fucking floor like a dog. I don't care. I'll put him on fucking blast. You piss on the floor, you dumb asshole. He pisses on the floor. He ignored my existence behind him while he ordered his own pizza that also had meat, but acknowledged the girl that got in line behind me, who had ordered a vegetable pizza. Hey, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was talking to the guy after that guy left, after my Suitemate left. I was talking to the dude that was working, and I said, he's wrong. He was like, what? I was like, there's a meat pizza coming out next. Don't use the vegetable one. And he looked, and he was like, oh, well, thank you. And I was like, no, don't thank me. Just, no. I forget what I said properly, actually. I think it was something along the lines of, he said like, oh, well, he was just trying to help. He was wrong, but he was just trying to help. And I said, well, I said, who's behind the counter? And the guy was like, well, I am. And I was like, okay, then you don't need to listen to that guy because he's not behind the counter. I was like, you do your own thing. I was like, that's so dumb. Like, don't go and tell it. And like, he's done it multiple times. I've seen him do it with a bunch of other stuff too. He'll try to tell people, and it'll be like, hey, this isn't your job. Shut up. Go clean up the floor that you pissed on. I'm not gonna let that go. He's a slob. It's disgusting. And he's older than me too. Not just like a couple months, like years. He's got like 6 years of life on me. And he pisses on the floor. I had to get an RA involved about it, who didn't do anything. So then I just had to keep yelling at him. That's right, I put you on blast on the internet. Take that. Everyone's going to respond to me being like, wow, that was so mean of you. I don't care. I don't care. I do what I want. It's my podcast. I'll be mean if I want to. Ah, yes. What a world. Yes. Don't volunteer people without their permission. This is a deep cut, all right? I went to help out on a film shoot, and that's all I went to do was to help out on a film shoot, right? And I get there, and I get told, oh, I told the people, it was at like a specific location, right? Because this one I will keep more under wraps. Specific location, right? And I get there with the other person who's supposed to help film. And the person who had us help film was like, oh, I told the people that are letting us film here that you'd make a commercial for them. The statement wasn't, hey, they want to do a commercial and they want to see if you're interested in helping. It was, I told them you'd make a commercial for them. What? Don't do that. You know what I am? I'm a college student. You know what I do? As a cinema major, I make projects. I have to write scripts. I have to do so many things that keep me busy alongside the things I've already made myself do that are busy in themselves. Don't go around volunteering folk to do stuff like that, which is not just time consuming, but also requires you delivering on something that you'd never intended to do. What? Like, if I was just a random person who just did the things that I do, like if I was just without the college aspect, right? If I just sat here and I did the podcast, and I sat here and I did the streaming, and I played my games on the other YouTube channel, then yeah, I would have been like, okay, whatever. But I was a college, I didn't graduate yet. I wish. I'm a college student. The other guy was a college student. We both didn't have the time to do that thing, but we had to pretend we did for like a week. And I was like, no, dude, I can't do this. Can't do this. And that was the start of the downfall of dealing with that one particular person, who I will leave nameless. But it was so dumb, because I was like, can you imagine? Can you imagine just like someone being like, hey, can you guys help with this thing? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then you get there and then they tell you that they've got you a job doing something else for someone else. Like, what? Who told you I wanted that? No, sir. I was like, that's so dumb. Absolutely ridiculous. Some people, the audacity of some people, and it's always people that like think they're helping, you know? They're like, oh, hey, I'm helping you by doing this, you know? You're gonna go far because I'm helping you do this thing. And it's like, no, you're not. Shut up. You know what you're doing? You're trying to make yourself seem indispensable so that I keep you around. I'm not gonna keep you around. I'm not going to. You know why? Because you're a bum. You're a bum who tries to get people to go do other things for other people without consulting with them, like, hey, do they want to do this? No, we did not. I think it's dumb. I think people are dumb. I haven't looked at my grades. I think my grades are in. I think there's a single class I might have failed. Don't tell my mom. No, I don't think I failed it. I know I didn't do as well as I could have, but I know that there are some things that I could have done better at. But other than that, I'm almost done. I'm getting closer. I've got to go through spring semester and then just one more full year, so long as I do well. And I think that's pretty dope. That's crazy, because I hate school. I will never sugarcoat that. I hate school with a burning passion, and it's that burning passion that has been fueling me to get through school as fast as humanly possible. I'm supposed to have another year, you know? If I didn't do all the extra stuff I did throughout my junior and senior year, which is part of the reason why I was not able to do anything I wanted to do with like YouTube until way later. Dude, oh man, I would have had like 2 years left of college, and I'd hate that. I would find that ridiculous and awful. It'd be a tragedy, an absolute tragedy. I would be the tragedy. No, but yeah, I hate school, and I understand that there are many people who do, and my thought will continue to always and forever be this. As much as I hate school, I know the things that I can't do in life if I don't go and get a degree. There are plenty of things I can do without getting a degree. Like, I could indeed just continue to hope and pray with streaming and all this other stuff, and if I go get a job at like Publix and make the money I would need to like get better stuff, yeah, I can do all that without a degree. But having the degree makes it a lot easier to get those things done, and also makes it easier to go do things I want to do rather than just do things, you know? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between doing what you want to do and doing what you like, and just doing things. Yeah, I can go make money working at like Publix or Target or whatever. Or I can get my education and go make money doing the things I want to do, like make films, writing scripts, creating projects, all this other fun stuff. Or even in psychology, which is my minor. If anyone was curious, no one was, but I said it anyways. My minor is in psychology. I am hoping that the fallback is that if I can't make projects and films and such that have well-written characters that people can relate to, that I can go help relate to people and help them out. Everyone deserves to have an ear, you know? They deserve to have someone who will listen and can understand them. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. I hope to do that with my projects, and then if not with my projects, then just with me as a person. So yeah. Cool. I think I've spoken on a lot. I think I've gotten a good chunk of stuff for today. So I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and end this. So thank you guys so much for listening to me and my ramblings here at the Whatta podcast. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. Tell me what the games you're... I did it again. I did the... Look, 7 days... 7 days? What? Every month. Every day for every month, I play a game. And the outro is the same. And the outro for this is similar, except instead of telling you to tell me what games you want to see me play, I'm telling you to tell me what things you want me to talk about, which no one does, by the way. 14 episodes, and like the first 2 were the only times where people were like, oh, we should tell them what we want to hear him talk about, which is how we got such great things. And now it's just me and my ramblings and whatever I see in the world that I think is enjoyable to talk about. But that's why I keep making that mistake with the outro. And then I don't edit it out, because why would I do that? It's funny. People have something to laugh at. Haha, he made a mistake. Yeah. And then I left it in, because I know it's funny. Anyways, thanks you guys. Leave any comments down below if there are things that you want me to talk about. Also, check out the link. It's got all those other things that I had mentioned. You know, it's got the gaming YouTube in it. It's got the Twitch link in it. It's got my social medias in it. In case you don't want to leave your comment publicly, you can send it to my DMs on Instagram or Twitter. Thank you guys again for listening. This has been the What a Thought podcast. I've been Matthew. Have a wonderful week. Have great Christmases, because Christmas will have passed by the time you guys hear this and by the time the next one goes up. So have a wonderful Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, or if you celebrate Hanukkah, or I forgot the name of the other one. Kwanzaa. Thank you. Thank you, Brent. If you celebrate Kwanzaa. I know some of those have already passed, I think, and some of those are still ongoing, and some of those will end soon. And I'm sure there are other holidays, whether religious-based or not, that are occurring. If you celebrate anything, if you don't celebrate anything, I hope that this week serves you well. Hope it's great. I've been Matthew, again, and I'll see you all next week.